So good morning students. Here we are going to today, this is the first class for the first PU science. So today here we are going to start the syllabus with first chapter in the first PU biology. Okay. So here the first unit that is diversity in the living world. Unit 1. What is the name of that? Unit 1 means that is the diversity in living world. Diversity in living world. Okay. In this unit, you have to study the 4 chapters. Okay. The first chapter is that it is the living world. Among that 4 chapter, which is the first one, that is it is the living world. So first we will carry with this chapter what it is, that is the living world. Here in this chapter, see, first of all they have given the unit name diversity in the living world. Diversity means here there are a numerous number of living organisms which exist on this earth. Okay, that is, if you see, there will be presence of plants, animals, microorganisms. Okay, so these are the some of the living organisms. Generally, plants means not only 1 or 2 plants are there. There are various different kinds of plants are there. Okay, among animals also, if you see, there are varieties of animals. Microorganisms which we cannot see with our naked eyes, to them we are calling it as the microorganism. It may be, see, in plants, algae will come. In mycorrhiza kingdom, if we see, fungi will come. Then bacteria. So all these are what? These are the, they also have their different varieties or different species, what we call. Okay, so all these are what? These all are the different living organisms which have been classified based on their characteristic features into different classes or into different organisms. Okay, here in this chapter, living world they are there. In this word, living organisms. Here I had written some of the living organisms. Okay, you can see in this world, there is a wide range of living organisms. Wide range of living organisms, many varieties of living organisms you can see in this world. If we see, if you are seeing a particular area, for example, if you went to a forest. Okay, there you will see a different of many kinds of plants, trees, herbs, shrubs, everything, grass. Okay, then next, if you see some more, if you want to see some more living organisms, you can see the animals. Among the animals, there will be wild animals such as elephant, lion, giraffe, horse. Okay, like that animals will be there. Except that, birds will be there. Varieties of birds you can see. Okay, then except that, many small insects which will be rolling on your legs or whatever the floor will be there. Small insects will be there. So in this way, if you see a wide range of area, there you can see more and more varieties of the living organism. Okay, so some of, if you can find not only living organisms in the forest, but also you can find the living organisms are surviving some extreme conditions also, such as in cold mountains, on the hills, at the top of the hills. If it is top of the hills means, if there will be no living organism can survive. No, there will be living organisms. In the cold mountains also, in deciduous forest also, in freshwater lake, either it may be the marine water, wherever you go, there you can different varieties of the living organism. They are surviving. Okay, either it may be the deserts, either it may be the hot springs. Wherever you go, in whichever the condition, they are adapted to that condition. The different groups of organisms. Okay, so here, see, in different habitats, in different regions, we can see the different varieties of the living organisms. Next thing, what is living? Next topic, that it is, what do you mean by living? So let's see that one. To whom you will call the living. So we will see that. What is living? According to you, in your mind, what it comes means living means living organisms. Okay, first you will come in mind that the man, the human being. Okay, according to the human being, by taking an example of human being only, we will discuss what is the meaning of living. Here, living means living organism or the organism which exhibiting some of the characteristic features. Here you see the organism which exhibits some characteristic features. Okay, what are the characteristics? Here some basic characteristics are there by which we will come to know whether that organism is living or non-living. What are that some basic characteristics? The first thing is that it is the growth. What it is? First one, growth. Second one, that is the reproduction. See, as you know, the meaning of unicellular organism, multicellular organism. Unicellular means which is the organism which is made up of only one cell. We can take an example of amoeba. Okay, then multicellular means we can take an example of animal or plant. All these living organisms have the ability to grow. Okay, this is one of the characteristic feature of what? Either it may be plant, animal, microorganism, fungi, algae, bacteria, any living organism, there will be a growth. Okay, so growth is one of the characteristic feature of what? Of the living organism. The next, reproduction. Here, reproduction means all the living organism, either it may be a unicellular or either it may be multicellular. All have the ability, if they are growing, their size is growing. Okay, see, one example I will tell you, that is the amoeba. The actual size, the original size of the amoeba is this much. If you see, after some time, if you see, their growth has been increased. Okay, you take example of man also. One small baby will say, this is the small baby. After some year, whether that baby will be like so much only? No, their size is going to increase. The baby will become adult. Okay, so each and every living organism has the ability of what? Growth. Then, if this baby is becoming adult, he will get married. Okay, he will get married means he will reproduce. He is going to reproduce or he is going to produce their children or the offspring. Like that only, here also amoeba, if this is the parent, first it will grow, then it will reproduce. Reproduction, how it is in the amoeba? It is by the cell division. Okay, it is by the cell division. By the cell division, their reproduction is different. Here reproduction is different, but the reproduction is taking place. Not only in the man and amoeba, in all living organisms, reproduction will take place. So this is one of the characteristic feature of what? Living. Then third characteristic feature, we will see here, sense the environment. Ability to sense the environment. Okay, see, ability to sense the environment means already in the 10th standard class you had studied about the response to stimuli. Okay, that is associated with the brain and spinal cord. Okay, reflex action, reflex arc. If you go in depth, you will recall all that things. But the thing is that if you take a bacteria, this bacteria has the ability to grow, or this bacteria habitat means they are adapted to that particular area, which is that means this bacteria grows in a what we call springs or geysers. You take hot water heats, you can say geysers, where you will use to take the hot water, where the temperature will be at high at more than 100 degree. Okay, geysers what we call are the hot heaters, water heaters. Okay, in that the bacteria is surviving. If you take that bacteria and if you keep in the cold water, whether that bacteria will grow? No. It is going to die. That bacteria is going to die. Why? Because they are adapted to this hot condition. The temperature is adapted to them is above 100 degrees Celsius. If you keep them below 0 degree, then how it can survive? They have the sense. Their body has the sense to the environment. Their environment has been changed from hot to the cold. That is the thing. One more example. If someone slaps you, okay, if someone slaps you, whether you will respond or not, slapping is one of the change in the environment. Suddenly, if someone slaps me, a change in the environment is going to take place. Okay, so if slap is there, then you will respond to that slap. You will ask, why did you slap? Otherwise, you will give one more slap. Okay, if someone keeps your hand on the hot stove, what happens? You will feel that something is going to be touching to your skin. You have a well-developed sense organs. Okay, so by that sense organs, you can recognize, you can respond to the environment. You can recognize what is the changes taking place in the environment. Second thing, you will found second thing, you will respond to that change in the environment. So what is that? Ability to sense. Sense means some of the living organisms will not have the sense organ, but also they will respond. For example, plants are there. Plants, they will respond to the light. Okay, by if they are utilizing, they will respond to the light. In that sense, they are going to grow. Okay, that is the thing. And the fourth thing, that is ability to self-replicate. Ability to self-replicate. Here the question comes about the genetic material. Okay, each and every living organisms are made up of what? Cells. That you. Cells are the basic structural and functional unit of life. Okay, why we are calling this living organism as the live units? That is due to they are composed of what? Cells. Either it may be one or either it may be many. Okay, due to which we had described or classified the unicellular and multicellular. Each and every cell will have a set of genes. Before going to genes, that genes means somewhat a standard level term is used. But before to that, if this is one of the cells, it will have a cell organelle, which is very important, essential cell organelle. To that we can call it as the nucleus. Okay, in that nucleus, there will be presence of chromosomes. Okay, chromosomes will have the genes, and these genes will have the genetic material. What is the genetic material over here? Means that it is the DNA, RNA, some of the proteins. Okay, so this if we take DNA, okay, See, in these genes, there will be presence of DNA. This is the DNA. When this cell will grow and when the cell is starting to divide, before division of first nucleus will divide, then cytoplasm is going to divide. At that time, before the nucleus starts to divide, their genetic material starts to replicate. Okay, their genetic material starts to replicate. What is that genetic material? That is the DNA. How it starts to replicate? Replication means here they are going to make its own copies. How this? This is the DNA, parent DNA. So it will make its copies. These copies will be distributed to the new nucleus or to the new cells. So these things, this is also one of the important characteristics which is present in all living organisms, that we are calling ability to self-replicate. No other mechanicals or no other substances, factors are making us replicate. We have that ability to self-replicate. Okay, the next thing here, self-organize is there, interaction is there, emergence in different habitat. These all are what? These all are the certain characteristic features of all living organisms. So next here in your book here they had given some of the, they had explained some of the characteristic features one by one, such as growth, reproduction, sense to environment, metabolism is there. So all that things, what they had explained means they had explained whether that particular characteristic feature is a defining character or not. Okay, defining character of living organism or not. Okay, that we have to see one by one. So first character we will see here, that is the growth. Okay. First characteristic feature among the living organisms, that it is the growth. So here, what is growth? First we will see increase in mass and increase in number of individuals. Increase in mass and increase in number of individuals. Increase in mass, increase in number of individuals are the two characteristics of growth. See here, increase in mass they are doing. Mass means what? Size, increase in weight. Okay, size means that will consider the height or then width. Okay, like that. That is increase in mass they are telling. If as I told one of the example, a small baby will be there, then according to the age or according to the time period, their body starts to grow. Okay, their body will grow. After 1 year, small baby will be this much. After 2 to 3 years, the small baby will become this much. Their body mass their body size, height, weight is going to grow. That we are calling it as the growth. If you sow a seed in the soil, this is the seed. We can call it as the growth. Increase in mass and increase in number of individuals. If growth is taking place, then the reproduction is also going to take place. For example, if you see growth has been taken place in this plant. So what happens in this flower, the pollination will take place. Pollination means fertilization, that ants, pollen grains will come and fertilize to this stigma, to this female flower. Okay, then it will start to produce the seeds. The seeds are going to disperse. Again, a new plant is going to form. In this sense, there is an increase in the number. Okay, increase in the number of individuals. These are the two important characteristics of what? Of the growth. Okay, so next point about the growth. Second point, that in plants, growth is by cell division. Growth by cell division. Continuously occurs throughout the life. Throughout the life. What do you mean by this? Means throughout the life span. See, here, if a plant is there, these are the branches. This is the plant. Any plant you can take up. Here, in the summer season, what happens means all leaves will fall due to the scarcity of water and higher temperature. All leaves will fall down. Okay. So after that, again, see, plant is made up of cells because it is a living organism. It is one of the multicellular organism. Okay. So here, the cell division. The cell will undergo into the division and they will form the particular body of the plant. Okay, you know, a group of cells, that is the tissues, group of tissues, that is the organs, a group of organs, that is the organ system. That group of organ system will compose the organism. Okay, so here the cells are continuously dividing, then they will give a particular organism, a body or a structure to the plant. Okay, this cell division is not going to stop. When season is unfavorable, the condition is unfavorable, when the temperature is higher, for example 40 degree, 42 degree, at that time what happens? All the plant is going to become dry. Again the season will changes, the rainy season will come. At that time the temperature will go up to be 25-27 degree. Okay, at that time the season, the climate condition is favorable. Again the new leaves starts to come. Yes sir. Why? Why the new leaves are going to come over here? Because the cell division is continuously. Okay, it is continuously throughout the lifespan. Whether it can be seen in the animals, this process can be seen in the animals? No. See here. In animals, growth is seen growth is seen only up to a certain age. Seen only up to a certain age. What do you mean by this? Here, in the animals, if you take a human being, a particular human being becomes, a man will become adult. Okay, until that time only their height, their weight is going to grow. When he or she attains an age of maturity or adulthood, such as 20 to 22 years, after that, that particular person will not grow. Their height is going to stop. Their weight is going to, weight may, what we call it, due to some excess food or due to some excess fats, the weight may gain. But what about the height? Their growth, okay, that is going to be stopped. Because see, if in certain cases what happens means, if a man got met with an accident, some of the skin, some of the flesh has been vanished away from the body. In that case, the cell division will take place. The cell, the last cells can repair. Okay, so that is the other condition. But whole body cannot repair. Okay, so that is the condition in animals. Growth is seen only up to a certain age, not till lifelong, till lifespan. It is not going to be growth. Then here, unicellular organism, as I told, they will grow and they will undergo into the cell division. So here, this is about the living organism. One example we will take about the non-living things or the non-living organisms. Here, non-living thing. One example I will tell you that it is the mountain. Mountains, you have seen. Here you see, this is the mountain. In the year 1990, the size of the mountain is this much. Okay, but in the year 2020, the size of the mountain has become this much. There is a growth. Okay, in non-living things also, there is a growth. How? On the surface of the mountain, the dust particles, the rocks, the trees are going to take place or they are going to emerge there, due to which you can see there is a growth. That is the reason we can say, see, in living organisms, see, in non-living things, growth is by some external factors outside the body. Whether the mountain has some internal process so that it can grow, no. From external sources. For example, the soil will come through the wind, rocks, then plants are going to grow on that mountain, due to which their size is going to increase. Externally, outside the body. Okay, not from internally. From inside it is not going to grow. Okay, see, that is in non-living. But in living organisms, the growth is from inside the body. It is taking place from inside the body. Yes, in living organisms, growth is internal, means inside the body, not from any external source. Okay, so this is about due to these things. Here, non-living thing also can grow, but externally, not internally. That is the reason we can say growth cannot be taken as a defining property of living organism. Here I will write growth, it is not a defining character of living organism. Why? Because you can see the growth in non-living things also. Okay, we can see the growth in non-living things also. That is the reason we cannot define growth as a or a characteristic feature of living organism. The next second one, that it is the reproduction. Second one, it is reproduction. What do you mean by reproduction? It is one of the biological process. It is a biological process where organisms produces their young ones or else we can also write it as the offspring to continue the race of generation. Here, as you had already studied, what do you mean by reproduction? It is one of the biological process where the organism, either it may be a unicellular or either it may be a multicellular organism, which will produces the young ones. Young ones means their children, their offspring. For what reason they are undergoing into a reproduction process? To continue the race of generation. So this is about the reproduction. So in the next class, we will see in the detail about this explanation, whether the reproduction is the defining property or not. That we will see in the next class. Okay, thank you.